All right, I know it's early. I know it's early. It's November 20th. But Arizona might be the best team in the Big 12. Actually, you know what? That's not even bold enough. Arizona might be the best team in the nation. And we're going to tell you why on this episode of College Sports Insiders.
This is College Sports Insiders. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you can find us here where we're doing your daily football and basketball conversations 7 days a week. Let's go. Welcome to the show.
All right, welcome in everybody to another episode of College Sports Insiders. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name's Troy, also the host of Mountaineer Moments, where we talk all things West Virginia football and basketball. My co-host, Mountaineer Paul, available on Locked On West Virginia. You can go check him out there. But we've joined forces for College Sports Insiders to expand our range a little bit as we give you all that you need to know across the landscape of college basketball and college football. So from breaking news to big time games and previews and post game reactions and recruiting news and coaching stuff, like all of that. You know, who's fired, who's hired, that kind of thing. As far in the coaching ranks of college football and basketball, we're going to have you covered here on College Sports Insiders. And as I mentioned in that introduction, this episode is going to be talking about those Arizona Wildcats on the basketball court. Again, it's November 20th, but they've put together a really impressive resume so far, and they're the most impressive team, not only in the Big 12, but in the nation to me, and it's really no comparison. We're going to talk about that. We're going to give you some key players for that team, what they've been able to accomplish, and how pivotal they're going to be moving forward for this Arizona team that obviously has high aspirations that are continuing to soar based on the start to the season that they've had. But again, this is College Sports Insiders, available on YouTube right now. We're going to get it up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts real soon. Relatively new show, actually very new show. So it would mean a lot to us if you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Join the movement that we've got going on here, College Sports Insiders here with Mountaineer Paul and myself. Again, my name's Troy, and we're glad that you're here. So again, this episode, talking about Arizona and what they have done so far this season. So obviously, as recent as last night, Arizona picked up a monster win on the road at number 3 UConn. It was number 4 versus number 3. Number 3 UConn, they beat them 71-67, led by 21 points from Jaden Bradley. They also have a win against number 3 Florida. Remember that one in the season opener. Peat, the freshman, in his debut. Talk about a debut. He put up 30 points. And they have a ranked win against UCLA. 69-65. And so not only are they beating ranked teams, that's 3 wins against 3 top 15 teams, and it's November 20th. Who else got that going for them right now, right? Like, that's an incredible resume. And they're winning these games in close fashion, which could, unless it's a coincidence, right? It could bode well for this team's chances come March, because it's a 6-point win against Florida, a 4-point win against UCLA, and a 4-point win against UConn. The game against UCLA and against Florida, both of those were on a neutral court, but they proved what they can do against, on the road against UConn. I mean, incredible. And we know the program that they've built over the last few years, but and they've still got a couple other non-conference challenges coming up before they get into Big 12 play. They're going to play against Auburn and Alabama in early to mid-December before you get into conference play, but they have really, really impressed thus far this season. Quite the resume. And again, I'm going to give you just a key, a couple things here that we notice about this team that's lending well to them, playing so well so far, and primarily these key players that I'm going to talk about. One is we're going to start, actually, it's reversed on that background you see here, but we're going to start with Jaden Bradley, the guard for Arizona, who obviously we know Caleb Love a season ago and what he did, but now he's gone, and now we got Jaden Bradley, the senior guard, who was not waiting in the wings, right? Because he was very good for them last season, averaged 12 points a game. But now he's the guy, and he's the guard, right, in that backcourt for them that's making the thing run. He's averaging 16.8 points, 3 boards, almost 4 assists, and over 2 steals a game. through 5 games, small sample size, but again, you factor into the equation that that's happening against 3 ranked opponents, 2 of which are ranked inside the top 5. So really, really significant start to the season for Jaden Bradley. He had 21 last night in that win against UConn, 6 of 13 from the field, 21 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, couple steals. 27 in that win against Florida, and we'll transition from there to talking about Peat, because that was an incredible, one of the best performances you will ever see from a freshman in their season debut, career debut for Peat in 36 minutes against Florida. He put up 30 points in that one to go along with Bradley's 27 in the 93-87 win for them. 11 of 18 from the field for Peat. 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. He stuffed the stat sheet and did it really well. Collectively, these two, Peat, Jaden Bradley, the reason you can be so, bold, confident, whatever you want to say about this, what I said in that introduction about this team maybe being the best team in the nation, and right now being the best team in the nation, is this 1-2 punch, for a guard and a big man, 6'8" freshman Peat, and then a senior guard they're both elite. And to win high-level basketball games, to play well, play late into March and into early April, you need some guys. And they've got 2 of them. They got a guard that is among the best in the country. I remember watching that Florida game. He wasn't on like a preseason award watch list, and he felt slighted. The team felt slighted for him, and well, he's proven some people wrong already because he is that good. He is that legit at the guard position. And then Peat, who figures to be a lottery pick, incredibly gifted, incredible talent for this Arizona team, and they have, I don't know if it's the best 1-2 punch in the country, but it's right up there, and that's why Arizona's having the start to the season that they've had. Another, few factors that you take away from Arizona's start this season. So they, came into the year ranked 13th. They're already up to 4, and they just beat number 3. And they beat 2 teams that were ranked number 3 at the point they played them in Florida and UConn. But if you look at what Arizona was able to do inside against UConn, the numbers speak for themselves. And so I would let them. 43 rebounds to 23 boards for UConn. Just manhandled on the glass all night. They had 2 guys, Peat with 12 boards, Krivas with 14 boards, Toby Awaka with 7 boards, the transfer who was at Arizona last season but transferred over from Tennessee after a couple years there. Really consistent piece for them, averaged 8 points, 8 rebounds for them a season ago, and averaging 9 and almost 10 this season for him, and he's an incredible talent too. Who's been coming off the bench, who came off the bench. Arizona ran an 8-man rotation. This guy, Owaka's putting up like Andre Drummond numbers, right? 14 minutes, but he had 7 rebounds against UConn in that one. Anthony Delorso, I think that's the guy that transferred from Campbell, yeah. So he was there last season. He averaged almost 20 points a game at Campbell a couple years ago, but can really shoot it. And last season, on over 3 3-pointers attempted per game, he knocked down 41% of them, 7 points per game. He's averaging 12 so far this season, is the senior guard for them, 6'6", who can really shoot it, and so he comes off the bench too. So they've got what you need, right? You've got size, out-rebounded UConn on their home floor by 20. You've got lots of bigs that can really, really rebound the basketball, that can score around the rim. You got a NBA draft lottery pick in Peat, who's a big fellow who can get it done. You've got a great, talented, experienced veteran guard in Jaden Bradley. You got Del Orso, who can really, really shoot the basketball. And it's no accident that they're having the success that they're having so far this season. I'm going to give you just a few more numbers and how they, rank amongst, because we're talking a lot about Big 12 teams here on College Sports Insiders, and, kind of how they rank amongst other teams in the Big 12 with what they bring to the table. So they're top 5 in 3-point percentage offensively, about 37% in the Big 12. They're doing that. And then rebounding is the one that I wanted to look at here real quick just to see where they're at in that. They're 6th out of 16 teams in rebounding again. But you gotta put things in perspective a little bit, and I'll do that for you right now. They've played against high level competition. Strength of schedule wise, I don't know if anybody has a tougher schedule than what they've done. 2 top 3 wins, literally, and they beat number 15 UCLA. So they're playing against tough competition, and yet their numbers are still, amongst the best in the Big 12. Just really, really, really solid team. Really solid team. Again, if you just look at who they have, just real quick, give you a few more numbers and we'll get you out of here. But Jaden Bradley, Peat, both averaging over 16 points a game. Delorso is their third leading scorer, averaging 12. We mentioned Toby Awaka, averaging 9 and 9, or close to 9 and 10. The other big fella, Krivas, not sure exactly how to pronounce his name, but he's averaging close to 9 and 9. So they got just bigs that can really rebound the basketball. Braden Burry's the freshman who they're big on, a guard, averaging 8 points. And so expect to even get him going a little bit more because he's a highly touted recruit that they brought in. So this is a really, really good looking basketball team. Obviously, we know what they've been able to do in recent memory. We know the deal with Caleb Love, even last season with how he led this team. And I think it was, I gotta make sure, Arizona and Duke last season in the Sweet 16. I mean, that felt like, I remember that being a good game. Yeah, Duke won 100-93, high-scoring affair. Caleb Love had 35 points in that one. Cooper Flagg had 30. Jaden Bradley, who we've talked about a lot, obviously, too, had 15. Awaka was starting then. Trey Townsend, remember him? He's gone, but, they return several pieces. The guy that I think they're missing is KJ Lewis. KJ Lewis transferred over to Georgetown, and he was a pretty significant contributor for Arizona last season, averaged double figures, 11 points a game. So missing him, 6'4", guard who transferred to Georgetown's off to a fantastic start. They're one of the great surprises amongst all teams in college basketball thus far are the Georgetown Hoyas, off to their good start, 4-0 start with wins over Maryland and Clemson. But he's averaging 19 points a game for them in that stretch and 7 rebounds. So you miss him, you miss Caleb Love, but you're replenished with obviously incoming highly touted, highly recruited freshmen that you brought in. And Arizona might be the best team in the country. And they certainly have the best resume thus far, and they're really, really good. They're really, really good. I mean, it's not like it's a major surprise. If we kind of close this thing out here, it's not like that's a major surprise, major development. Like, we knew they'd be good. We knew Houston was going to be good, and they are. We knew, other teams atop the Big 12, would be good. We know Texas Tech is good. And it's so early, right? It's November 12th. We know the deal with Iowa State, what they bring. We know BYU. But Arizona is off to an incredible start. Credit where credit's due. They're beating the teams in front of them, just like a lot of teams in the Big 12, but the teams in front of Arizona have been tougher competition than what other teams in the Big 12 have seen so far. So, just saying. I will say this, real quick, if you just follow the Big 12 as a whole, Texas Tech has a game against Wake Forest tonight as part of a tournament, and they might be on a crash course. Purdue is playing Memphis in that tournament, and they might be playing tomorrow. So we might just have to cover that one if Texas Tech's going up against Purdue, the number 1 ranked team in the nation, tomorrow night. They might be on a crash course if they can take care of business. Wake Forest, no slouch. Texas Tech favored by 9.5 in that one, but we might just have you covered here on College Sports Insiders, so make sure to go and check that out. If we do, keep an eye on that game. Keep an eye on that tournament. Lots of action going around college basketball, and we're going to do our best to have you covered on some of the major storylines that we want to cover here on College Sports Insiders. We'll see you next time.